Hold on.
RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Where's my buttons? Buttons. There you are. Hi, guys. What's up? Couldn't find the button. And, yeah, we're here. We're queer. Get used to it. My name is Tara Devlin. Thanks for hanging out. Unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. I see the chat room filling up at youtube.com/C for channel /Tarabuster. Thank you, guys. And it's really great to see you the day after Thanksgiving. I'm glad we can get together. And yeah, welcome. Welcome, Haiku. Thank you for being a moderator. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat and also being a moderator. And Richard W., thank you for your super chat. Another great show, Tara. Well, stick around. Let's hope. I do need a haircut. Jesus Christ. Look like fucking Cousin Ed over here. Look like Chewbacca. Fucked an Irish man. God help me. Anyway, yeah, we have a lot of work to do. Well, let me see. What am I saying? Oh, I got to do the plugs. Yes, we meet here every Friday at around this time in this vicinity, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this show is rebroadcast on Progressive Voices tomorrow. We also are on Rokfin. You can become not a patron. You can become a member of Rokfin, but you can also, they have, you don't have to become a member to sign up. There's different tiers of membership. And also, we're on APS Radio News, which is a newer platform that's hosting Tarabuster, and that's great. I'm very happy and proud to be a part of APS Radio News, and check it out. Because Charlie is a good, we have to support each other. Charlie's a great guy and doing, independent media. And it's not easy. I know that for sure. And we're up against the, we're up against the billionaires and big moneyed interests. So we stick together, we win. That's the damn truth. So check out APS Radio News. And yeah, what else? That's it. Become a patron if you can at patreon.com and patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That helps keep the show going and growing. Share the show with your friends. All this stuff helps us. Give the show a good review on iTunes. I mean, that's your orders. That's all. Okay, that's it. I'm just asking. It's a give and take here. I'll keep doing the show if we keep, if we keep growing and going. I don't know, whatever. It would suck if we weren't growing, but I know we are. And, not as fast as I'd like, but hey, whatever. Never give up, right? And, yeah. Okay, where are we going to start? I don't even know. So hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving. I went to see my family. I went to my cousin's house. It was always nice to see my fam. I didn't see them last year. I didn't go anywhere last year because I had to work. So anyway. And I didn't feel like driving either. Whatever. Sometimes you just don't feel like driving. But anyway, who cares, right? It was nice. And whatever. I'm back with these. It never stops, Republican bullshit. And it's only getting worse because... all right, where do we begin? I mean, I don't know. Last time we were talking about Twitter and Elon Musk, and that is just a it is really, emblematic of everything that's wrong with society is a billionaire, swooping in and, wait, does your sister admit Biden won legitimately? I'm sure she does. I don't know. She hasn't said anything, but I heard her, and see, most of my family are normal people, thankfully, but there are my cousin's husband, so I don't know what they are to me, what you call that. They're extended, they're not even family, they're his family. My cousin's husband's brother and my sister, like I always hear them whispering together. And my sister really doesn't know shit, right? I mean, that's the fact. She knows what she fucking overhears, and she's very influenced by whoever talks to her. And so my cousin's husband's brother is a doctor, and I heard them talking about the vaccine. Like my sister's, she insists she's not an anti-vaxxer because she fucking got on my nerves, really, because I was like, this was another time early on. I was saying something about the vaccine, get the friggin' booster or whatever. And because I was mentioning, it's coming back to me now, that we're so far pretty fortunate that, I have a pretty large family. And we've been fortunate that no one has been seriously ill with COVID. And I do know other people in their families that haven't been that lucky. So and most of my family they take the vaccine and, whatever. They're not morons. So I heard my sister and I don't know, my cousin-in-law, maybe, I guess, my sister has one story, okay? It is that her doctor got the shot and he had a negative reaction to it. So he thinks. He had some kind of, whatever, something happened. He had he felt sick. I don't remember the whole, whatever the symptoms were. And he's a doctor, so he went to another doctor for help, and they were trying to figure out what had happened, and they all agreed it must be the vaccine, and because there's nothing else. Well, first of all, you don't know. You know what I mean? You do not know. You fucking don't know if whatever your sickness is related to the vaccine, if that's the case, right? And so it's entirely speculation. And they were, my sister keeps repeating this fucking story, like, to whoever will listen, and she's like, I will not, no, I'm not taking the booster. I'm not taking the booster. I just hope she doesn't end up on the fucking Herman Cain Award page, really. So but I'm like, I was kind of shocked in a way when we first got into it, because I was like, you're an anti-vax? I mean, this is bullshit, It's, they're like, you don't know. This is my sister, you don't know what the repercussions will be. You won't know. And I'm like, well, they don't want it. How could they have made it so quickly? Like all the same shit. And but the thing is, it gets on my nerves because besides it, just being annoying, that we have 1 million fucking dead in this country, over 1 million, and it's a goddamn disgrace. It is, exactly, Jim. Even if he's the 1 in 1 million, it doesn't change the stats. So, things happen after you get the shot. I saw, usually on the Herman Cain Award page, stories about people saying, Like, oh, this guy got the shot and then he lost his leg 3 days later, like all these odd things. But, it's just life. Shit happens. Who knows if you were going to you lose your leg anyway, and it's not necessarily connected. It's sort of like the flying spaghetti monster, right? They say that the amount of pirates is inversely related to the the presence of pirates is inversely related to the flying spaghetti monsters, the appearance of the flying spaghetti monster, something like that, So it's two things that might occur at the same time, but are not necessarily related. And when there's a vaccine that is being, it's being distributed all over the world, of course shit's gonna happen. And by now we would know. There's no way that it would be a cover-up if there was something. It's not like the thalidomide babies or something, you know what I mean? It would get out over for the how many billions of people have taken the shot, right? There would be a friggin' we would know about it. So, but she has, one guy told her a fucking story. It's so annoying. Hold on. I gotta lower that shit. And it's just like, so it doesn't matter science, anything. It doesn't matter. It's obviously the million dead don't matter, and that to me that's what matters. It's embarrassing, and so as I was sitting with, and it's also tragic. It's a fucking needless statistic. When we celebrate Thanksgiving, with our family and friends yesterday, there were a lot of people around this country grieving the loss of their loved ones who they're not at the table. And I mean, for various reasons, of course, right? More than just COVID, especially those who got shot going to fucking Walmart or just want to hang out at a club and watch a drag show. So, or anywhere else now in this country, you're just taking your life in your hands, going to fucking Walmart. Oh my God, what a way to go, right? You will live your whole life and then you die in a fucking Walmart because Republicans they've distributed assault weapons across the country. It's disgusting. Then I kept thinking about, no, I'm going off the vaccine topic for a second, but I'm thinking about Carrie Lake talking to that Australian. Not talking to, just talking down to that Australian reporter and saying how Australia isn't free and because they don't have assault weapons. Yeah, right. But it's ridiculous. This is what, it's twisted. This country is fucking twisted, right? And so I was sitting with my aunt and my cousin. My cousin is a teacher. And, my aunt is, in her 70s, so she needs, and my cousin works with children. She has been infected with COVID because, and that's the other thing. My sister works in a fucking school. So that's kind of like a petri dish, not a peach tree. It's a peach tree dish of germs. It's a germ factory. So, yeah, I just hope she doesn't end up on the friggin' Herman Cain Award site. But they were like whispering because my cousin's husband's brother is a doctor himself. And I didn't hear the exact story. He's like, yeah, but if you can't say this to anybody, you can't say it because then you'll lose your license or something. So he's obviously an anti-vaxxer. And my sister, pulled out the story of, now she's a fucking expert because she knows somebody that insists he got sick after he took the shot or something weird happened. And I'm like, Whatever. You don't. First of all, you don't. I mean, just like I said, you don't fucking know. You don't know if that you can't be definitive that it had anything to do with whatever was wrong with him, and whatever. Now he's okay. Who the fuck knows? But it's not an excuse. It's really ridiculous. But that's. And I was sitting there with my aunt, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. They're talking about the fucking vaccine, and she's like, yeah, I know, I can hear it, and it's just kind of annoying, really. And I was like, yeah, this is why we have 1 million dead in this country. It's that kind of shit, like spreading this mistrust. Like, what interest and what's the benefit of people lying to you about a vaccine? I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big drug company booster. I'm sure that's for sure. That's a whole other story. But to think that this is some kind of conspiracy to make you take a vaccine for what fucking reason? What purpose? What's the end here? Oh, something stupid? Like they're going to track you? They don't need to track you. They know where you're going. You got a phone in your pocket, right? They're already tracking you. Right? That's the other thing. They don't even they don't put two and two together. They're going to track you. What's the end game? What's the nefarious secret that no one is letting you talk about? Let's hear it. Because when I hear whatever the hell it is, it's always stupid. So now we have polio back in New York and other places. Shit like that we had already eradicated. And it's ridiculous. It's effing ridiculous. But it is because of Republicanism. Yeah, exactly, Jim, on the chat. The conspiracy, it's called capitalism. Exactly. But, we had a pandemic. They made a vaccine. They were able to, I don't know all the ins and outs of how you make a vaccine, but it's apparently, they were able to do it quickly, relatively quickly, because of they already had the foundation of it with the other vaccines they've created, which no one seems to have a big problem with, except assholes, and and bringing back measles and whatnot. I'm all for you being a dick, and you don't want to make yourself acceptable to the community where you're not Typhoid Mary. I mean, these are the kind of people back in the early part of the 20th century when they had to find Typhoid Mary, who was she was an Irish cook. Not that it mattered she was Irish. I'm just saying it. Well, I'm Irish. I am not trying to be racist against myself, and she was being hired out for by all the rich families in New York, and she was, I guess, cooking for them or whatever, and bringing typhoid wherever the hell she went, and she had no symptoms herself, and she wouldn't believe it that she was sick, and I mean, but these are the kind of people that would they excuse her? Would they just be like, freedom, get Typhoid Marys, freedom, right? Because if I remember correctly, they locked Typhoid Mary up. Let me look this up now. Typhoid, because she was a danger to public health, but she wouldn't believe it. She was, she didn't believe that she was the cause, and she was stubborn and wouldn't, she kept doing whatever the fuck she wanted to do. So getting people sick. Let's see. Mary Mallon, who died in 1938, God rest her soul. I don't know. You got to say that when you say shit like that. Commonly known as Typhoid Mary. Could you imagine being Typhoid Mary? That's how you're known. That sucks. Was an Irish-born American cook believed to have infected between 51 and 122 people with typhoid fever. The infections caused 3 confirmed deaths. Only 3? Freedom! Well, that's what we would hear now, right? That's what Republicans would say. Well, it's only 3. They were sick. They had pre-existing conditions. You know. Fuck them. Freedom. All right, we're reading about Typhoid Mary. She was the first person in the United States identified as an asymptomatic carrier of whatever, Salmonella typhi. She persisted in working as a cook and thereby exposed others to the disease. Because of that, she was twice forcibly quarantined by authorities. Freedom! What about her freedom? And the tyranny? The tyranny of her not being able to be free to infect the community. We're community creatures. We live in community. We are interdependent creatures. That's how we were made. That's how Mother Nature made us. That's why we have chemicals, well, normal people, not Trump and half the Republican Party, but when you're decent to other people, when you give something, you get the same chemical boost as when you receive something, because we're supposed to be helping each other. Yeah, that's why you could feel empathy. Normal people, not Trump and half the Republicans, but normal people. If we weren't meant to be together, we wouldn't have those feelings. We would be like lizards. They don't have those feelings. They don't have that part of their brain. Right? They don't. They don't. That's why I always wonder if people say, "Oh, my lizard loves me" or whatever. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have that part of the brain. I mean, it may like you because it associates you with food. So, giving it food or something, but it doesn't feel love. I'm sorry. Not love, but animals, cats, dogs, pigs, mammals, they do. So, anyway, whatever. We're interdependent, and I'm all for you being friggin' ground zero, if you want, of all kinds of pathogens. But get the fuck out. Go to a desert island. Pick up your bootstraps and go live, free. Go live free. But they can't. You understand? They're just babies who want to infect the entire society. And then it's worse than just infecting society with the sickness. They also infect the society with their infectious thoughts. Where that's why, and here we are with over 1 million dead, and we stand alone in the world with that appalling death count. It is disgusting to me. It is. Anybody who is, and it should be to everybody. It should be intolerable that we lost 1 million people during the pandemic. It's disgusting. It shows us how fucked up we really are. And we don't care. People just don't care. Oh shit, I got mine. Right? Oh, I didn't get sick. I didn't. Whatever. Who cares? I don't want to wear a piece of cloth on my face. That's in the Constitution, where you don't give a shit about that. That's why the founders rebelled, right? So we could all be independent, rugged individuals who what? Or nothing but parasites? Just tedious fucking parasites that contribute nothing. I mean, that's what I used to say to Republicans sometimes when they would, whenever they would attack me on Twitter. I'm like, oh, please, don't worry. We're not no one's asking Republicans to do anything for society. We don't expect that of you. No one is expecting you to contribute to society. That's not your jam, Republicans. When do they contribute? They just take and take and take, and then they just add nonsense to everything. We can't just have a normal death count. We got to have fucking millions. And then, it just never stops. And the indifference to this is disgusting. I mean, you understand how sick this country is? Literally and figuratively. It's disgusting. And it's also, on so many levels, especially with the not giving shit about people who work in hospitals, that they're putting in however many hours a day and never can get a goddamn day off. And the PTSD of watching Herman Cain Award recipient after Herman Cain Award recipient come through the door with all that kind of bullshit. Like, oh, I had somebody told me they took a shot and I will never take a booster now because somebody I know said that something happened. Right? Never mind that, the whole fucking world. If there was a problem, we know about it by now. There's no there's no way that it could be kept under wraps. That's what reporters are for. That's what journalists do. We would know about it. Yeah, the corporations, the filthy capitalists would try to hide it, of course, like they did with the Pinto and other failures, corporate failures. They would excuse it. They would say, oh, well, this is an acceptable death count. That's what they did with the Pinto, right? They thought, oh, it's more fiscal. It's more fiscal to pay out lawsuits to people's families, the families of those we've killed with shitty product, and than it is to make the adjustments that won't kill anybody. That just says it all about what we're dealing with, the kind of mindset. Ugh, so disgusting. And this is why you don't want, billionaires fucking running shit. There should be no billionaires. Anyway, right? Let's finish. I'm just curious about this Typhoid Mary bitch. Jesus Christ. She persisted in working as a cook, thereby exposed others to the disease. Yes. Because of that, she was twice forcibly quarantined by authorities. Eventually, for the final 2 decades of her life, she was put in prison for 20 years. Malin died after a total of nearly 30 years in isolation. Now, if this were today, right? What do you think Marjorie Perjury Trader Green would be saying? This is appalling. It's like the gazpacho. Mary Mallon is being abused by our gazpacho. Right? Never mind. Yeah, oh, she only killed 3 people. Who cares? That's just 3. No, it's not. It's not me. So why should I care? It's 3, not me. So, freedom. Yeah, that's the thing with Republicans. They only see the light when something affects them, and then it may not. If it just affects them on the peripherals, they don't care. Like fucking Lauren Ben from the bowling alley. Boebert is back. Well, she didn't stop her anti-trans rhetoric, and she informed everyone that she will continue, and they will. She will continue bashing trans people, and because being a Republican means never saying sorry, never learning, never evolving, and that's to them that is strength. When it is as we know, as actual humans, that is the opposite of strength. That is the weakest basic bitch way to live I've ever, anyone could ever devise. But okay. But, not, like I said, no one expects Republicans to contribute to society. The sooner we stop expecting that. Now, I don't expect that. That's what drives me insane with the Democrats. Stop expecting them to contribute to society. That's not their role. They're not the contributors. They never did. Tell me what they've contributed. Right? I will. We could talk about it. What have Republicans contributed? Conservatives. All right. What have conservatives contributed to society? I'll wait. I mean, maybe we can. I'd be interested in knowing if there are what. Because all I know is that they've always been the albatrosses around our national necks whenever we've tried to make a more perfect union or take a leap forward. Anytime. What have they done? They were always like, nah, no, and trying to roll back whatever the fuck we do. And then until they realize they can't fight it, so they have to pretend to be the champions of whatever they're fighting, so they can get in on the inside and destroy it from inside. Am I wrong? No. Okay. Let's see. So she spent two decades, the last 2 decades of her life in isolation. She died after a total of nearly 30 years in isolation. Her popular nickname, I wish I could do that to perjury traitor Green. Wouldn't that be good? Put her somewhere in isolation, make her think about, well, she probably wouldn't. You can't make her think, but give her the chance to think about all the harm she's doing. But yeah. Okay. Her popular nickname has since gained currency as a term for persons who spread disease or other misfortune, not always aware that they're doing so. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. First quarantine was from 1907 to 1910. The second one was 1915 to 1938. Interesting. Where was she? Madeline was quite active until suffering a stroke in 1932. Afterwards, she was confined to a hospital. She never completely recovered. Half of her body remained paralyzed. She died of pneumonia at the age of 69. She was cremated, and 9 people attended her funeral. That sucks. Some sources claim that post-mortem autopsy found evidence of live typhoid bacteria in her gallbladder, and then they give annotations. That's crazy. She's just a fucking she's a peachtree dish of disaster. But that's one of the things with COVID, and we learned that initially, the hard way, how some people were carriers, and this is what happened on that cruise that people were stuck on. And the crew, they started testing everyone, and some of the crew and I guess the passengers came up. They were surprised to learn they were positive because they had no symptoms, and that's initially how it spread, because people working in the kitchen or whatever, fixing food, and they didn't know. So that's the whole thing about wearing a mask, shit like that, because you don't know. But whatever, who cares? Whatever, who cares? Why am I saying who cares? We do, but I didn't mean to go off on a whole COVID thing. But that's we were just talking about my sister and her saying that she's vying for the Herman Cain Award. So because somebody said something once, she heard a story. But this is what we're dealing with. You understand? It's like, it's annoying as hell. And yeah, it's sickening. Like, while we're on the subject, let's see. The Herman Cain Award. Let's see what's there. Sometimes whenever I get annoyed, I see some shit on Twitter or whatever, I'll go to the Herman Cain Award site. And let's see. Come on, Herman Cain. It's sad. Imagine, that's Herman Cain. That's how you're remembered. Come on. The daily event. I just want the regular award. Usually there's like all memes and I think I'm not looking in the right place. Whatever. Let's get out of here then. We'll come back later when I learn how to use the internet. One day. But let me talk about, here's the thing. Billionaires, they shouldn't exist. Mr. Bloomberg, should you exist? That's, every time I say that, that's what I'm thinking of. Chuck Todd and the Democratic debate and him phrasing that question. Bernie Sanders says that billionaires shouldn't exist. Mr. Bloomberg, should you exist? What kind of fucking stupid frame is that? But this is what we're up against. Nobody's saying Bloomberg himself shouldn't exist. We're saying that billionaires are like the big fat leech on every body politic, or a cancer cell eating up all the life force for itself. There's no purpose to them. And why do we have to live like this? Under just being under the whims of overgrown morons. I mean, come on. One of the things I keep hearing, as you guys know, when I watch Morning Joe, my dirty, filthy morning habit, I hate watch Morning Joe, and what's his name? Joe Scarborough always prefaces, whenever they talk about Elon Musk, he always says he's a genius. Is he a genius, really? How? He came up with, what did he come up with? In fact, he didn't come up with as far as I know, it was other people that came up with the Tesla or whatever. I don't know the whole history, but I saw this article about it. But it's like, it's sort of like what happened with Facebook. So, where, Zuckerberg just stole it. And here's Tara Jr., everybody, joining the discussion. Look at him. Look at him. He's a good boy. Yes, you are. All right, we'll go split screen. And you know who's back? Actually, I'm babysitting the cat formerly known as Spicy. Not Spicy, as Salty. Her name is Louise now. And she's in my bedroom. She's a very good girl. Look how cute she is. That was her sleeping last night. Anyway, Spicy's another story. We're gonna have to rescue him. I'm trying to get him back and give the person who adopted Spicy, give him, I gotta tell you, this is what happened. His wife called 911 on Spicy, the cat. If you can believe it. I know. Isn't that insane? So Spicy is a very scared cat, and he's only 6 months old. He's a kitten still. And so I kind of assume, I think I know what happened. Him and his wife were constantly fighting. You need to work with Spicy. And any cat you bring home, you have to introduce yourself to them. You got to make them feel safe in their new territory. It's not like a dog. And so apparently Spicy started to hide under some stairs and wouldn't come out. So, and he started pooping under this and peeing under the stairs. And it's tragic because he's terrified. He's terrified. He doesn't want to come out from under the stairs. That's not a way to live. And then the fucking bitch called 911 on the cat. And the 911 operator was like, lady, this is not the purpose of the 911 system. You're abusing the system. You call 911 on a cat that took a shit outside the litter box? These are people. We live and share the same air with people like this. And then apparently they had a big giant fight. Of course, he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Calling the cops on the cat. And so I think Spicy broke them up. And she left and went back to wherever the hell she came from. And hopefully she stays there. But I could just imagine how mean she was to little Spicy. It could be. And then, of course, if they were yelling at each other, I'm sure that terrified him. So it's not good. It's just not good. Yes, she called the fucking cops on a cat. I can't even believe it. But I'm sure that's one of the stories that the people who work for 911, they're gonna tell people, like, you won't even believe what happened today. Somebody called the cops on the cat who took a shit. That's what happened. Like, what are they gonna do? We live in New York City. There's there's real shit happening that needs to be attended to. Not this bullshit. And then they told her to call 311 and call animal control. Like, animal control is going to come over but that just goes to show you, she hated Spicy. He doesn't need to live like that. I feel bad for him. So I'm trying to get him back. And trying to get him, the person who adopted Salty, now Louise, his sister, has expressed an interest in taking him in. So I really do hope that's going to happen, and we'll give him another cat, one who's nice and not doesn't need this work anyway. Right? 911, what's your emergency? My cat shit under the stairs. Unreal. But this is what we live with people like this. That's why it's terrifying. Sometimes I watch whatever, I'm watching some stupid TV show and there's like hicks and hillbillies or whatever. Not, whatever. Am I being offensive? Probably. And I think, God, there really are stupid people. Because that's the whole basis of conservatism. That it really is. That some people should vote. Some people are worthy of it. And some people are, they have no business being anywhere near power or having anything to say about it. Then I see something like, some freak on Twitter, not just Twitter, but anywhere, on some too stupid TV show or something. And I think, well, maybe they have a point sometimes with that one. That's what. Anyway, whatever. That's why we got to bring out the best in people, not the worst. Exactly. The producer is eyeing my coffee. Yes, he is. He always does. He's constantly trying to get me to pet him. He's always like sticking his hand out. That's why he bites my hand. He wants my hand. He wants my hand. Wow. I called YouTube experiment on the chat says, I called 311 to report a pothole in the street, and they insisted they connect me to 911. And I'm like, it's not an immediate emergency. And the 911 operator refused to take the call as expected. They were probably just pushing you off. Because maybe and I have to tell you, I've used the 311 system before, and sometimes you get the wrong information, So it just depends, I guess. People are Some are better and some are not. All right. Let's see. So Elon Musk is have we had enough of that fucker yet? I know I have. He's actively spreading right-wing QAnon conspiracy theories. Now, how can this person be a genius? So, like I said on Morning Joe, whenever Joe Scarborough brings this Elon Musk character up, he has to preface it with he's a genius. He's not a fucking genius. Obviously, how can you be a genius and be such an not just an asshole, be so dumb. So dumb dumb. There's no way. I don't know. We've seen true genius in this world. Could you imagine, I don't know, Einstein behaving like an overgrown, a man-child? That's what he is. A narcissistic man-child. He is a bloviating, puffed up, little whiny attention, black hole of attention need and greed. Just a dick, a douchebag, an asshole, and not a nice person, and I don't see what's he a genius? All right, Junior, he's moving now. He's rubbing against the camera. Honey, can I put you over here? For now? Just for now. Just for now. Just for now. Just for now. I love my cat, Cam. Oh, wait, that's the cat, Cam. All right. So, let's see. I was reading this article. It's a couple of days old, or is it a week or so old? It's from Verve. It says, inside Elon Musk's first meeting with Twitter employees. A week after ordering mass layoffs, Musk took questions from Twitter's remaining staff for nearly an hour. Here's what occurred. With barely 20 minutes, Elon Musk gathered Twitter employees on Thursday to address them for the first time. During a nearly 1 hour Q&A session, you can read the full transcript below. Musk was blunt about Twitter's financial state, his ambition to turn Twitter into an app for payments. Oh, how innovative. There's a few apps like that already. Cash App, what else? Venmo, PayPal. Oh, hell, he reminds me of Trump, right? Because Trump never invented a goddamn thing in his life. He never innovated a damn thing. He's a derivative of basic bitch shit. Like just the lowest common denominator. There's nothing creative about him. So, we're going to make it a cash. Well, just make it everything. Just make it like Amazon then, right? Amazon is like everything, right? It's a bookstore. Now it's a movie studio. It's whatever. It's everything. It's a cloud service. So, okay. Yeah, okay. So he said that I think there's a transformative opportunity in payments, and payments really are just the exchange of information. Yeah, that's what Republicans think. That's free speech. You see? That's what, everyone's got free speech. Some are just more free. Some are just more equal than others, right? Like my free speech, my puny $27 is really gonna open some doors in the halls of power. That's not the way it's supposed to be, but of course, somebody like Elon Musk, that's what they want. And Republicans, conservatives, they want it like that because they want to suck on the government teat. That's what they do. That's what government's there for. It's not to make a more perfect union. It's not to promote the general welfare and set society up for success. It's not for honoring the sacrifice of all those who ever died for democracy. That's the real most offensive part of all of these assholes, like Musk and Trump, and it's just the way that they so offend the sacrifices that so many people made. I was watching well, yesterday when I got home from my cousin's, I don't know why it came up in my queue. I watched Downfall again, which is a great movie about the last days of Hitler in the bunker and the battle for Berlin. And then I was watching. It piqued my interest, and I also have a subscription to Curiosity Stream, and they have a whole in-depth look at the last days in Berlin. That's a very interesting thing you should watch if you get a chance. I think it's called 16 Days or something like that. And at one point, the narrator, the host of this documentary, is talking in a graveyard of service people, not just Americans. I think it was a Russian people, from the Red Army, and I was looking at the headstones behind the guy talking, and looking at their names, these young, and they were all 20 years old. 20. It's like born 1918, died 1944, the whatever the date was there. And I'm like, that's a 20-year-old who barely lived, sacrificed their life to fight fascism because a fucking fascist wanted to shove their shit down everybody's throats, treat people like shit. And if you watch Downfall, and it's based on eyewitness accounts, it's really, as far as I remember, very accurate. And it talks about, Hitler saying that compassion is a weakness, and we need to be like nature and get rid of all the weaklings. And it's always for some high purpose. It's always for the best for everybody. But it really reminded me, once again, of course, of Trump and the sycophants around him who can't tell him the truth. They buy and they do whatever the fuck he says. It's all about power. It's not really about doing right by humanity, and the sickness of putting people, making others subhuman, so you can destroy them. And that's what we're witnessing yet again with Republicans, talking about trans people, gay people, anybody who is somehow the other. If you're not a straight white man or an admirer of the patriarchal hierarchy power structure, you're vermin. Am I wrong here? No. But it really is. If you haven't seen that movie in a while, you should check it out again. Downfall, it's great. But and it's chilling too, because I remember seeing it years ago for the first time, and I could, for myself, I didn't imagine at the time how close to home it would be, how terrifyingly close to home. That we have to deal with this shit. We're dealing with it here in America. It breaks my heart. It really does. We were the good guys. That's what I mean. When I was a kid, it's so. That's what's so tragic too. Of course, I had a child's knowledge of history, but I always remember being proud to be an American because we were the good guys. At least that's what I thought. I thought we were taught. That's what they were teaching us in school. We did things for the law, for the people. People had a voice. The ugliness in the world, we stood on the side of humanity, where we prosecuted the war crimes. We had standards. We tried to live up to them. It's so I thought. Of course, I wasn't aware of everything else, but the entire history of the country. But you know what I'm saying. Just to think about that brief moment of time when FDR was president, and we fought fascism and didn't enable it at home, and didn't dine with Nazis. This is another thing we'll talk about tonight. Trump today having dinner or lunch or whatever with Nick Fuentes, the fucking Nazi. They don't have to hide it anymore. You understand? And we've played the Nick Fuentes, whatever, clips from his shit show. His shit show, yeah. And it's appalling. He's the one we need to destroy democracy. Well, they'll talk all about democracy. They'll talk about eagles and stars and bars and all the kind of bullshit. They love stars, bars, eagles flying, all kinds of shit. But the essence of patriotism, that's another. They hate that. So, but he's the one that's like, we need to cancel elections, install Trump as dictator, and that's it. And that piece of dirt, as Mike Malloy calls him, the orange vomit, that's perfect. Orange vomit. I call him the cancer on the scum on the cancer. Well, we went through this before. The scum on the cancer on the cancer on the scum. Really, he is. There's nothing redeeming about him, and that's their standard bearer. That's their boss. And the only reason some of them are moving away from him is because he was rejected. He's not giving them power, the power they want and crave and need, the power to cheat, the power to step on your neck, the power to fuck your life up, not to help, not to lend a hand, not to build, not to unite, the power to divide and rig the system in their favor, as they always do, steal more money from the federal treasury, write laws to make it, wrap it in the veneer of legitimacy, and leave you behind every goddamn time. Leave you behind on the battlefield of sickness, on the battlefield of whatever it might be, ignorance, on the battlefield of stress, of daily life. They leave you behind. While they ride you to the bank. And then they'll give you assault weapons so you can blow off some steam by going out and murdering people. Because that's all they got, you see? That's all they got. They don't have decency. They don't have dignity. They don't have democracy. They hate those things. That gets in the way of their power. And I don't know. It's really unbelievable. But not. It is unbelievable, actually. It is. When if I think about it, and I could not have imagined. Like, here's, again, I just went on Twitter. And I just wanted to, I do this periodically. You can't tell me this fucking right-wing piece of dirt, Elon Musk, that they're not pushing Republicans up everybody's ass, because apparently he said, oh, he's been tweeting out all these QAnon conspiracies, how Twitter was woke, and they were suppressing conservatives. No one's. Oh, you mean they were suppressing the notion that that the rich shouldn't be taxed? That they were suppressing the disdain for progressive taxation? Right? Is that what was being repressed? Small government? Or was it the N-word? Or was it you misgendering people on purpose? Like a dick. Like a fucking asshole? Or was it just spreading filth and lies and racism and bigotry? Oh, is that that's what they're talking about? That's conservative values. And that's what I mean with, as far as the the corporate media too. They never get specific. And I mean, here's another case in point. Well, the conservatives are being suppressed. What's being suppressed? Let's see it. Let's see what is being suppressed. I would like to see that. Do you have any examples of things that were suppressed? Like when somebody tweeted, I believe that the rich should pay no taxes, and that the poor and everybody else should bear the burden of the price of admission to a civilized society, while, I know that's more than however many characters, but while while billionaires ride us to the bank. I believe that's freedom. Show me the tweet that's been suppressed of, I believe in the free market. Right? Or small government. That's being suppressed? Or you've been canceled because maybe you said that the election was stolen, and that this is 1776, and it's a shame that that so and so didn't have the courage to stand up, and now the people are so angry they're going to take it into their own hands, and that's your obligation. This is why Trump got kicked off of Twitter for for inciting violence. He was being suppressed. Right? He's being suppressed. The producer is back. He's back. Back in the New York groove. The producer is back. Back in the New York groove. He looks good. He's looking good, that producer. He's purring up a storm. I gotta move some shit around. I think somebody did something in the letterbox. Just my luck. I gotta. Ugh. It stinks. You stink on the inside. Alright, where was I? Back in the New York groove. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, so he wants to go to payment. What circumstances could lead to the company declaring bankruptcy? This is Elon Musk. We just definitely need to bring in more cash than we spend. If we don't do that, there's a massive negative cash flow, because you needed to buy Twitter to save all of the trans bashers from being suppressed, right? Look at him. Look at this cat. You see what he does? Watch. I'll show you. Give me your paw. I need that paw right now. Hey, don't leave me hanging here. Don't leave me hanging, brother. Give me that paw. Oh, wait. The camera's falling. All right. Yes. That's a priority. We can't scale to 1 billion users and take massive losses along the way. That's not feasible. Now, this is a guy who said he was going to save humanity. Remember? Buying Twitter would save humanity. Oh, and then the Twitter's remote work policy. He's a piece of dirt, right? See, one of the things with Twitter, they advertise, some people were hired under that policy. You can work from home no matter what. And which is an attractive prospect for people who want to, have a life, all that work-life balance we hear so much about. But Elon Musk thinks everyone should. He just wants to control people. That's what it's about. So whatever. Some stupid. Whatever. However you feel about working remotely, I think it's. For me, I appreciate it because I can get shit done, finally. And, I don't know. As far as work-life balance and whatnot. But I understand some people, whatever, need to go in, and others, it is definitely different, but it's not a bad thing. They've done studies, believe me. If it wasn't working, everybody would be demanding people coming back, but it's actually good for the company. It's good for retention. It's good for people report more satisfaction with their lives and their jobs. So they, whatever. Who cares? All right, moving on. All right, Junior, I don't like you screaming in my face. So he says, this is the thing that really irritated me. Below is a transcript of Musk's first all hands meeting with Twitter employees, lightly edited for clarity. And he says, this is his statement. Well, he starts talking to the Twitter employees. Hello, nice to meet you all. I'm very excited to be here. And I think the long-term potential for Twitter is immense. I think you've heard perhaps some of the things I've said publicly, and I think what you'll find is that the things I say publicly are the same things I say privately, because you have diarrhea of the mouth and you're a man-child who can't control himself. Like, adults learn to bite their tongues sometimes because sometimes you need to listen. Take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth, as we say. I think Twitter, this is what annoyed me the most. I think Twitter can perform an incredibly valuable service to the world and be the public town square where people exchange ideas and where once in a while they change their mind. Oh, really? Is that what it's about? Is that why when within minutes of you buying Twitter, there was it was a N-word galore everywhere. And you're changing somebody's mind. You're on there bashing gays, bashing trans people, bashing, spreading lies. And now we have morons all over the country responding to it in various ways. Some are domestic terrorists and they're killing people. Others are they're wasting our time with all this fucking election shit like Carrie Lake, all these grifters, these fascist dirtbags. Right? It's the town square. Well, you don't fuck you, okay? How's that? For a scintillating commentary. You, who needs you? Town square where a man-child who swallows right-wing swill and spits it out to his fucking hangers-on followers who think he's so funny. His base of fanboys who like it because they want to own the libs too. They want to be assholes. That's all that's about. It's envy. They want to be like him. they want to be able to be an overgrown, immature dirtbag and call somebody a fat pig, or say, oh, like when he said on to some politician, I think it was a Democratic politician, but they said they criticized something Elon Musk did, and Elon Musk responded, "Hey, dude, why does your avatar look like you just came?" This is this is a genius? That's a genius, everyone. In this fucking sick society, that's somebody who wants to own the town square. Well, he does. And he's letting all the Nazis back on. They have a very safe space. Nazis need a safe space to exchange ideas and views. Right? And then he says, where you have a battleground of ideas. What idea? What give me one idea that the Republicans contribute, or the conservatives. Give me the idea. Because I don't see ideas coming from them. I see hate and insults and I'm drinking your tears. I see that shit. And I see a lot of crybabies saying, "Oh, we're being suppressed. We're being suppressed. I said Nazi, and now I got put in Twitter jail." Fucking. Where's the ideas? A battleground of ideas that can hold. This is the justification of a really somebody who needs to be taxed into oblivion. That can hopefully take the place of, okay, this is what got me too. Okay. And where you have a battleground of ideas that can hopefully, listen to this shit. Listen to this bullshit. Hey, no. That's it. You sit here. No. You little bastard. You see what I got put up with? In this world. Being abused by my own cat. Look at him behind me, too. Fucker. Staring at me. All right. And where you... all right. Where was I? This is what got me. And where you have a battleground of ideas that can hopefully take the place of violence in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, it can hopefully take the place of violence, because that's what, in his genius mind, that's what happens. First come the words, and then comes no violence? That's not how it works, dummy. Dum-dum. Elon, the worthless billionaire. First comes the words, bitch. Then comes the violence. That's what happens. It's like the Nazis. It's like Disturmer, right? They bought one of the first things the Nazis did was they bought a dying newspaper, and they made it all Nazi. Hold on, we'll be right back. Yeah, they bought, was it Disturmer at first? Let me see. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess, but they bought a newspaper that was on its last legs, and they breathed new life into it with their anti-Semitic swill, their Nazi swill. And yeah, that's what happened. There was no violence because they were able to exchange ideas that way. And that's not that when you dehumanize people and you call them everything but their name, and you vilify people, you call them groomers, because you know what you're doing. You're the fucking groomers, but you groom people to be Nazis, domestic terrorists. And of course, you also are grooming them because you're sick. Like Matt Walsh, we'll get to him, who is a groomer, constantly obsessed with the age of consent. And why, who made this crazy law of age of consent when women, technically are the most fertile at the age of 16. That's what he says. You are thinking entirely too much about. Yeah, but that's being woke, right? That's what we were too woke. Society was too woke when we made age of consent laws. So he wants to go back to the natural order. That is always a Nazi fucking road that they go on. It's the natural way. That's what Hitler said in the movie too. Well, in the real life too. It's all natural. Nature has no compassion. There's no compassion out there in the world, in the wild, wild world. So humans shouldn't have compassion either. That's weak. That's weakness. Even though we've had compassion built right into us purposefully. And even earlier versions of humans had compassion. And we have evidence of it. Of them taking care of the disabled. Taking care of the sick. Millions of years ago. Millions. Talking little humans. Humanoids. Our ancestors. Why can't Republicans keep up? Why can't conservatives keep up? Some of us can't. That's what it is. There will always be this base. And that's why we got to keep evolving. And they have to be named, shamed, and, put in their place legally and peacefully. But they won't do it. They're not peaceful. They're not legal. They're not peaceful. They'll do it by any means necessary because that's all they got. That's it. So he says, Elon, the worthless billionaire, says, where you have a battleground of ideas that can hopefully take the place of violence, in a lot of cases, aren't you benevolent, my lord? Oh, thank you, my lord, for making this battleground of ideas, because we didn't know we needed that. We thought we were good with 4chan. Now thank you, my lord. Goodness knows we are so blessed to have such a gracious, benevolent lord that's so filled with noblesse, I can never say that word. Noblesse oblige. I can't ever. Did I say it correctly? I don't know. So people can just be talking instead of physically fighting. Yes, because that's how it works, right? When you talk, no fighting comes after. It's talking. Talking is one thing, but that's not what's happening. That's not what people were kicked off of Twitter for. That's not why Yee was banned from Twitter, right? Or what was he banned for, or put into suspension? He was banned for spreading the same kind of shit the Nazis spread. But no, that has nothing to do with the anti-Semitic attacks, right? No, it's a battlefield of ideas. It's hopefully. Yeah, because that's not what happens when you're out there fighting. When you go to a bar and a bar fight breaks out, it's all of a sudden it's because no words were spoken, right? Who the fuck do these people think we are? Do they really think we're as dumb as the people who vote Republican? Thankfully, the majority are not not as dumb, but, a slim majority. So people can just be talking instead of physically fighting. I think, listen to this, we could actually be a force for peace. These fucking people. Show me, bitch. Don't tell me. Show me one example of your Twitter, of Elon Musk's Twitter, being a force for peace. All I see is swill. It didn't take long, because that's what Republicans do. That's what conservatives do. They turn everything they touch into a cesspool where it's like, mommy's not home anymore. We're having a party. We're going to put some date rape drugs around. I don't know. We're going to fuck the place up. And if we go too far, we're going to call mommy and say, "Oh, mommy, help me." But in the meantime, we're going to be like, "I don't need mommy." And then if something happens, they're like, "It's not my fault. My words had nothing to do with more death. My death policies had nothing to do with death, creating more death. I'm free. Freedom." I think we can actually be a force for peace. Oh my God, I can't take this. Have we had enough of billionaires yet? Have we had enough? Have we? I don't think so. I guess not. Because we have right-wingers. They think, "Hey, that's great. Freedom. That's free. He's free." That's what you can't tax him. That's envy. You're being envious. And that's his money. He made that money. He made it because of the tax structure, the fucked up tax structure, the kiss up, kick down tax structure. And he made it in our world where he has to live with now, how many billion people? So it's, what do you do with a cancer cell that eats up all the nutrients and is killing the host? You cut it out, right? You do something. You nullify it. You neutralize it legally and peacefully. So people can just be talking instead of physically fighting. Right. I think we could be a force for peace, which would be amazing. Give me one fucking example of manchild Elon Musk, the worthless billionaire, being a force for peace. In reality, I know he's got a lot of words. He's got a lot of words, but they don't match up with him. He's a piece of dirt, like the rest of them. "Hey, how come your face looks like you just came in that picture? Ha ha ha." Is that funny? That's supposed to be funny. That's scintillating discourse. And what? And also, just what the fuck was a stupid sink? Bringing a sink into Twitter. "Hey, I'm here with a fucking sink. I'm what is it supposed to be? Let that sink in, or the kitchen sink?" I guess he's such a genius. He's a fucking genius. Oh my God, that's the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. How the hell did that happen? With cats, that's what happens. Cats come muzzling in and it just flies by. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. Check out APS Radio News and help our sponsors keep on sponsoring us. And we will win. We're on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Check out the rest of the show at youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Dillon. I love you. I do. I love you. I'll see you later. Holy moly. I have so many other things I need to talk about. This is the problem with this show. When I go on a tangent. And there's so many other things to talk about. We need a show every day. That's the problem. That is the problem. That's the problem. We need a show, a daily show at a set time on a daily basis. But alas. Okay, I think, and he goes on, we'll get off this in a minute. There's a tremendous amount of good that Twitter can achieve for humanity. You dirtbag. Show me. Don't tell me. Right? That's the first rule of writers. Show, don't tell. Show us. Don't tell us. Uh-oh, here comes Junior again. Let's see, Twitter. Honey, please, give me a minute, honey. Oh, geez, he's back. All right, you can stay. Just stop with the biting of the hand. Oh, we can be a force of good. Right? So good. Like, let's see. All of the racism that immediately, it's all back. The N-word running all over the place. Yeah, because that's what Republicans weren't free. That's why I say, until they can say the N-word in the public square without any bitches or libs expecting a certain level of maturity from them, or you can't go. There are rules to places, right? You go to the store. You can't walk in with no shoes, right? They say no shoes, no shirt, no service. You go to certain restaurants. Sometimes men have to wear a tie, or you got to wear a jacket, blazer, or something. So there's certain levels of expectation on your behavior. But not on Twitter, because it's going to save humanity, everyone. And that's why I've been saying this for years, all right? These fucking billionaires, even the rich people, even the good people who aren't morons, like Stephen Colbert, for example, who donates a lot of money, millions of dollars to his elementary school and his high school and whatnot, which is commendable. But and everybody says great, and I remember when he did this, and he's done it a few times, and on other liberal shows they're saying, oh, that's how you do it, that's great, Stephen Colbert, this is what about you? And I see this all the time too with other billionaires, like, for example, I think it was Bezos who recently said he was gonna donate his fortune or whatever, and people like, good, that's how you do it, everyone. Let's pay attention, Elon, or whatever the fuck, right? But no one frames it like, what the fuck is this shit? Except me, of course. Maybe Mike Malloy and Robin Kincaid. But why are we living in a society where we depend on being trickled upon the good graces of the rich? That's not this thing. That is not what America, the constitutionally limited democratic republic that promotes the general welfare, is supposed to be. We're not supposed to have a rich benefactors thing. That's what the founders rebelled against. That's the way it used to be. You used to have to go find a lord to serve. If you know, as a serf, you went, you found your lord, and they would trickle benevolence or whatever. Not education, that's for sure. But they would trick if you had a problem. If you got sick, you could go to the Lord and say, I need to, I don't know, my tooth hurts. I got to get my tooth pulled, or whatever it was. Or it didn't matter. You just had to, you lived or died under the graces of your Lord. And they could be a piece of shit, the Lord. You just have to be, it's a luck of the draw, like the Julio-Claudian clan, right? They started with, well, Caesar, and then Augustus, and then ended with Nero. Didn't take but a few generations to devolve to insanity. Absolute fucking megalomania, abuse, complete uselessness, excessiveness, narcissism, treating people like nothing. You know, a maniac. That's what I'm saying. Like, as far as Stephen Colbert and other billionaires, or I don't know, not billionaires, whatever, millionaires, rich people, whatever, we shouldn't have to go beg a rich person to fund our schools. No matter how lovely it might be. It's like we shouldn't have to depend on GoFundMe for medical care. We should, the way it's supposed to work is that we pay our taxes. We all pay our taxes, and then they go into pools. And the government of Buying for the People distributes, we pay for the schools, and we pay for people who might be sick, this is the civilization, the price of admission. It shouldn't just be we get to, I don't know, bomb a wedding party in Afghanistan with a drone or something. But yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. It shouldn't be, your school can't get supplies because it wasn't lucky enough to find a rich benefactor. And that's what drives me insane, because nobody says that. Not on the corporate media, and that's part of the problem. It is, because the framing, the American people are, it's this learned helplessness, and it's confusion. Yes, although that's nice that millionaires want to give money to a school or whatever, and that's their prerogative, but that's not the way it's supposed to work. That's why we should tax, like we used to have a 90% top marginal tax rate. So we didn't, and people understood it. In fact, there's quotes from Teddy Roosevelt talking about it, the bloated fortune, and why we have an estate tax, that it was necessary to prevent the development of an intergenerational aristocracy. And the bloated fortune is by its essence, it needs to be treated in a different way. And so it doesn't grow so powerful that it threatens the state itself. And it seems very threatening to me, where you have to beg a rich person to ensure that your school has supplies, right? It doesn't seem like our general welfare is functioning, because rich people need more money. You understand? They don't have enough zeros on the back of their bank account, and apparently that's why everybody gets out of bed in the morning. Because we work to make them richer, and we pay their price too. It's like, oh, okay, I'll pick up the tab, but they never return the favor. Oh, well, they give you jobs. I hear this from right-wing Stockholm syndrome suffering dupes. I never got a job from no poor person. I hear that shit. That's, first of all, that's bullshit, because if you don't have a job, if the lowest people on the totem pole aren't doing well, then that's the measure of how sick the society is. And if you're a billionaire, I guess your cult leader, I don't care how many widgets they make. If people can't afford to buy it, it doesn't work that way. As we saw during the pandemic, who makes the world go round? Who are the essential workers? Was anybody crying for a billionaire to show up? It was the lowest common denominator, the lowest paid workers. They were the ones. That's why everybody should and deserves to be treated with decency and dignity and earn living wages. That's why the rich need to be taxed. Corporations need to be taxed. Thank goodness Joe Biden, in the infrastructure plan, one of the provisions is a 15% rate. PAT. That's it. None of this zero tax rate with these corporations who use our roads, use our public education system. They're not educating people to read their invoices and whatnot. That's us. We do that. They use our court systems. They use our police system. I mean, what the fuck? It's like that's the infrastructure of civilization. Part of it. Of course, we definitely need more, but it's also, we need to recognize, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of an economy? What's the meaning of a country? Anyway, that's why I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of Democrats not fighting, not taking back e pluribus unum. But I mean, Democrats, the progressives, are the patriots. Whenever a conservative is like, whatever, because they're a bunch of traitors. I'm like, what are you talking about? Progressives created this country. We're the ones fulfilling the promises that were, it was basically a challenge now at this point. We're the ones with the maturity to function in a kind of society that lives up to the founding ideals. Of course, the founders didn't, but we will. We will. Hey, you better calm down, buddy. I'm just sick of it. Look at you. Look at your face. Look. Hey, what is this bullshit with the biting? I know what it's about. You want to be pet. But, you know. I'm working here, motherfucker. We back at you. Okay, let's get to this. I see the time is ticking away. It always does. Time is this sucks. That's the way it is. Jesus Christ. Trump's latest dinner guest, Nick Fuentes. You know who he is? He's a Nazi, an open Nazi. Oh, they don't even hide it anymore. And I knew that day would come. I remember saying that a long time ago. Saying that there will come a day. They have to hide it now, but they will be openly discussing that they hate democracy. It'll come out. And I didn't know it would get here this quickly, but because they only give lip service to democracy, as you see, because everywhere you turn, Republicans try to limit democracy. They hate democracy. They suck at democracy. They don't, because that requires them to mature, the whole thing. And to look at themselves and try to think, hey, am I capable of functioning in a democracy? I better work on myself. Especially a multiracial democracy. Jesus Christ, a nation of immigrants. Well, one of the very fine people that Trump loves, the former president, let's see, Trump's latest dinner guest, Nick Fuentes, white supremacist. And also, we remember when perjury Traitor Green spoke at one of this Nazi's conferences, and then she said, she whatever, she made her excuses and backpedaled. Well, now I wonder what she's going to say, because you know how they are. Republicans are, because they are Nazis, and every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. So, now that the orange vomit, as Mike would say, gave his orange slime of approval on a fellow Nazi, that they'll embrace him. They embrace the worst, the dregs of society. You see what they have their pet, Kyle Rittenhouse, murderer, people who fucking murder people. That's their, that's their interns. They got murderers as interns. Fuck the whole country. Forget that everyone, that others are mourning the deaths that he inflicted. The only one who had an assault weapon there, and the other people were armed with, I think, a plastic bag. So he got murdered. Let's see. Former scum. He's not former scum. The scum, the former president, on Tuesday had dinner with Nick Fuentes, an outspoken anti-Semite and racist who's one of the country's most prominent young white supremacists, and also in a no doubt a closet case, in my opinion. He is so self-loathing. Could you imagine being him? I know it's if he wasn't such a monster, I would feel bad for him, but that's who they are, really. The banality of evil, the monstrosity of evil. Also at the dinner was performer Kanye West. Well, they all agree that they hate the same people, so it's like perfect. And we know how it is. He's Kanye West and others like Candace Owens and whatnot. They're just human shields for Republican bigotry. They really are. So I saw this quote from MLK about that. How some I gotta dig that up one day. How some black people will, or people with darker pigment, sell their own souls to their oppressors for some power. Well, that's been going on forever. Women do it all the time. I mean, especially for generations, because you would only get your power from your relationship to men, and you would fuck over any other woman to do it. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Also at the dinner was Kanye West, who has also been denounced for making anti-Semitic statements, and now he's back on Twitter because ideas, like the same ideas that were in De Sturmer. It's a battlefield of ideas. That's all. Very normal ideas that don't get people killed. Yes, some people think that Jews are a vermin, and some think they're human. Who will win this battle? It's been going on a long time. It's the same old shit, different day. The fourth attendee, let's see, also at the dinner was Kanye West, Mr. West traveled to meet Mr. Trump. This is from the New York Times. At the club Marimoron and brought Fuentes along. Wow. That guy. Wow. Have we had enough of these billionaires yet? Anybody? Where's any decent ones? Why are they all a bunch of Neros? The fourth attendee at the four-person dinner, Karen Giormo, a veteran political operative who worked on Mr. Scum's 2016 campaign as his state director in Florida, also confirmed that Fuentes was there. Mr. Fuentes. I hate the way sometimes, this is the standard of New York Times. It's tedious. Attempts to reach Mr. Fuentes through an intermediary on Friday were unsuccessful. In recent years, Mr. Fuentes, 24, a 24-year-old closet case Nazi. What a sad, pathetic way to go through life. It was unsuccessful. In recent years, Fuentes, 24, has developed a high profile in the far right and forged ties with such Republican lawmakers as perjury traitor Green and Representative Paul Gosar of Arizona, both Nazis, outright Nazis, because perjury traitor Green is the personification of the statement that in every Republican chest beats the heart of fascism. She's an ignoramus, and I don't think she can help herself. They can't help it, you see. Like, you just scratch the surface, all the shit that comes out of their mouths. It's the poison that fuels them. Then they don't realize it. But they wrap it in a bunch of pictures of eagles, stars, and bars. Junior, you're getting on my nerves. Jesus Christ on a bike. Stop, please. Where is he? Look at him. It's like Candyman or something. I got my own personal terrorist over here. Uh-oh. I see him. Look, now I got three of me. Oh shit, he's coming back. All right. In recent years, has developed perjury traitor Green, Paul Gosar, largely through his leadership of an annual white supremacist event called the America First Political Action Conference. That's all they do, right? They wrap all their shit in this veneer of patriotism. And they expect dummies to swallow it and not realize they're reading Der Stürmer. They're spewing out the same old shit that was in Der Stürmer. And of course, I was going to say, haven't we learned the lessons of history? No, of course not. That's why normal people, actual patriots, recoil from the Republican Party like you would seeing the future if they ever really got their hands around the neck of power to choke the life out of this democratic republic. That's what they're going to do. A Holocaust denier and unabashed racist, Mr. Fuentes openly uses hateful language on his podcast in recent weeks, calling for the military to be sent into black neighborhoods and demanding that Jews leave the country. And he sat at the fucking table of the former president of the United States who stained the White House despite receiving fewer votes and being a traitor, a Russian Putin puppet, scumbag, classified document stealing, national security risk, traitor with the fake university, the serial bankruptcies, and the penchant for sexual assault. And that's the Republican standard bearer. Unreal. Un-effing real. Unbelievable. But not. Like I said, it is not unbelievable. It is very believable. And it will continue until we smash it into history's trash pile unapologetically, legally and peacefully. Well, you know what I have other things I wanted to talk about. I guess we'll have to wait for the next show. I'm sure more shit will happen, but there's Kevin McCarthy. Get ready, as we know. The Republican, the show, the clown show is going to start in January, and they're gearing up. They're giving us the previews now, expecting us to tune in, but that's all they have. And but the other thing is that it is always a repeat, because they don't have any original ideas. They have nothing. They offer nothing. And it's all a show to get they really are a bunch of rats, like trying to get in front of a camera somehow. And who's going to get on Fox News? Who's going to get the attention? And who can get the attention of the dum-dums of the domestic terrorist base by pantomiming patriotism? So who can do it the most? Because they got nothing. They're not going to be passing legislation that will, I don't know, tackle inflation, ease the American people's burden on gas prices or something. But all the shit we had to hear about, now it will happen. I mean, we've been here before. We've lived through this before. And Kevin McCarthy announced that I just saw this on his Twitter feed earlier. He was like, we will be reading the entire text of the Constitution. Let me see. I just went on Twitter again. Why? It's where, you get your information or whatever. That's what sucks about it. It's a cesspool now. But I just wanted to show you again. I don't follow this fucking Graham Allen douchebag. Hey, Biden, I'm not giving up my gun. Why is that at the top of my feed? You see what I mean? These right-wing scums, there it is, are being pushed down our throats. Oh, that's because it's balancing it out. Because they used to suppress, the libs were suppressing conservative ideas like this. I'm not giving my guns, any of them, because I need an assault weapon. I can't go join the National Guard because I'm a coward, and learning how to do 2 push-ups, that's too much. That's too much sacrifice. And it's too much. So I need an assault weapon, because where the fuck do I live? I live in The Walking Dead. I live in a country where I don't know what's going to... I'm ready at any minute to... I live in... it's like the Battle of Berlin every day here. That's where they think they live. But that's what... because they can't function in a civilization, they want to make society as sick as them. They're sick, and they don't care how many kids die, how many... poor saps that went to Walmart die. How many people just want to have a fucking drink at a bar and watch a drag show? Die. They don't care. They want more death. They are cowards. They are monsters. Demons. Domestic terrorists. I'm not giving up my guns. Well, choke on them. Choke on them. Choke on your filth because you hate this country. You hate children. We got to live in a world. We got to grow up in a world where kids, I can't even imagine, go through live shooter drills. Now, that's going to be something that future generations will look back on and be appalled. You know, sometimes I see us doing things in this country and I think about what the fuck? What will the future say? And I know. I mean, we do know what the future will say about them. It was just like what it says about the dumb Nazis who took their own lives when Hitler did. Because, they couldn't live in a world without National Socialism. Oh, there's socialism there. And has nothing to do with socialism, of course, as we know. But perjury, traitor, grain. And Republicans are not that swift. So they it's a word. But, hey, but that's what I'm saying. Like, why I don't follow Tulsi Gabbard. I don't follow Graham Allen. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Go away, not interested. And this is what I do. I go, not interested. And who's this Matt Wallace? Elon Musk's new smartphone is going to put Apple out of business. Who is he? I don't know who you are. Dogecoin, YouTube, Bitcoin. Who the fuck are you? Bye. Look, Kyle Rittenhouse. I have muted this fucker. I have muted him. I'm not kidding. He's been popping up in my feed. I don't want to see what a Nazi little bitch, coward, murderer. What do I need to see his fucking stupid face? His legally and peacefully stupid face. And his murderous bullshit. Dan Bongino. I don't fucking follow him. Any Democrats? Oh, I saw Robert Reich. That was it. Normal person. There's one normal. Diamond and Silk? I don't follow these fucking people. Not at all. Look, see? I don't follow. Look, Diamond and Silk. Do I follow? Do you see it? No. It says I could follow her. These dumb bitches there. This is happening. That Twitter is become, it's the town square. That's where it's a world of ideas. Where Diamond and Silk, Kyle fucking Rittenhouse, Dan Bongino, whatever, are shoved down your throat till you want to puke. Their shit is pouring down your throat. That's all they are. They're just vomit. I just watched it's nothing. It's entertainment. That's what it is. Dan Boggy, bye. Who the hell are you? Children do not belong at drag queen shows. Do you agree? Bye. Dinesh D'Souza. I don't fucking follow him. Bye. Fox News. I don't follow that. I mean, really. Hello. None of the people I follow are on my feed. Newsmax. Bye. I don't follow Newsmax. Is this another one? Colin Rugg. Yep. What the fuck? This is what I do. I don't want to see that bitch. I don't want to see this bitch. If I want to see it, I'll look for it. I don't need. Look, Democrats are whining about President Trump's tax returns. No, bitch, you're a dupe. Why do I need this shit? I don't need to be aggravated by these assholes. Mark Levin. I'm not kidding. Fuck you, Twitter. Bye. In real time, we just went through my entire feed. There's one Democrat on the feed. Unbelievable. Kevin Sorbo? Go away. Okay, there's Monica Lewinsky. Fine. Liz Cheney is all about Liz Cheney. Bye. I mean, Diamond and Silk. I just fucking said I am not interested. Bye. Mute. Oh my God. Why does Putin only invade when a Democrat's in the... Bye. Oh my God. Guys, I can't believe I just went through another show very quickly. We will win? Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please support the show. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevil. And keep the show going and growing and hang out with us. Come on Friday night at 8:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time to youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster. Hang out with the greatest American people ever. And others from around the world. We will win. Check out APS Radio News. And we stick together. We win. My name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you soon. Yes, Jim on the chat. I think you secretly follow Diamond and Silk. No, I don't. I mean, it gets on my nerves because now it's popping up on my phone. Shit like this. I'm like, what? What? I don't need to see it. I don't need you to. I don't need Diamond and Silk. You know, to pop up on my phone. I don't follow them. If I want to see what I want to see vomit, I'll go search for them and look at their feed. I don't need it to come to me. I didn't ask for that. And in fact, not only did I not ask for it, I specifically said I don't want to see it. Again and again and again and again and again. Now you know for a fact it's not happening to the morons, the domestic terrorists. Their feed, their phones aren't popped up with normal people. They're getting nothing but confirmation bias. It's just everything's stolen from us. We're just Nazis and we have ideas. Our ideas are being suppressed. The ideas that, Jews are they're the scourge of earth and they're they took over the media and now they're suppressing us. They're suppressing Kanye West. Look, I just went on back to the homepage. Laura Ingraham. I can't take it. I can't take it. Oh, Jesus. Hey, Junior. Now he's knocking over the cameras. All right. Listen, sorry. I just have to say sorry for going on lots of tangents tonight. Yes, I'm signing off, Trucker John. Remember, Trucker John has a show. Follow Trucker John's show. You could put your link in there, man. Put your link down. All right, listen. Thank you, Jim and Richard, for being the super chatters tonight. Others can go and become patrons at patreon.com/Tara Jr. /Tara Devlin to keep the show going and growing. And yeah, that's what we need. We do need that. Right, Tara Jr.? Oh, boy. Why are you... I guess I gotta pet... I just gotta pet him. Now, it's time to pet Junior. Because he's a very bossy boss. He's a bossy boss. All right, my friends. Listen up. We will win. Of course, there's there's accuratemessage.com that Thomas has. I'm a little worried about it. I signed up for that too. But I signed up for it. But, it's like, I don't know. He's up against people who have, like, hedge funds behind them. I don't know. It's very difficult. But you can't blame a man for trying. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. I got to go get the show ready for Progressive Voices. And I don't know. We'll be back. We'll be back. On, I don't know what day. We'll see. Maybe. If somebody becomes a patron, that always puts me in a better mood. And then I'll do a show in their honor. That's how it goes. Thank you so much, guys. Listen. Like I said, we will win. Oh my God, it's almost 11 o'clock. How'd that happen? We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. I love you. I cherish you. I'm not kidding. My name is Tara Devlin. And I'll see you very soon.